Hello everybody and welcome to F1 2016. My name is James, or JT Plays, and ladies and gentlemen, today we start our very first race in the F1 Rolex circuit. Round 1 takes us to Melbourne, Australia and Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. So far we're leading our rivalry over, ironically, our teammate in the Haas F1 team, Esteban Gutierrez. Some upgrades, we made a couple. We've upgraded fuel efficiency and we have upgraded drag, or we're looking into upgrading drag a little bit more. And well, today's our first race, so we're gonna close the laptop. We're gonna get to Australia. Well, we're gonna get to the track. We're already in Australia. We're gonna get to the track and it should be a fun one. Today here in Melbourne, 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, and the average speed is about 120 miles an hour. We start on pole, but I don't think that'll last for long because Sebastian Vettel, Rico Nosberg, Lewis Hamilton, guess what? They're gonna want the lead, and honestly, we're gonna give it to them. We're just here to learn the track first time around every time. Next time out is Bahrain, and well, we're not really focused on that. We're focused on this race right here. It's going to be 15 laps, 1 pit stop in the middle, and anything else, well, it's for your enjoyment at home. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's meet the starting lineup for Melbourne, Australia. Round 1 from Albert Park in Australia. We start on pole, and Lewis Hamilton, he starts right behind us in third, the Englishman. There's us right there. We're going to be in the spotlight, and well, our team is probably freaking out because they have never worked with us. They have probably never worked with anyone on pole. And well, it should be very, very interesting. So, with that said, as you're continuing to meet the drivers and the teams and the spotters, it is officially time to meet the starting lineup. So, Team Radio, well, they're just telling us to have a good race. But enough about that. The starting lineup for today's Australia Grand Prix from Melbourne. We start on pole. Nico Rosberg starts second. Hamilton and Verstappen start 3, 4. 5 and 6 has Daniel Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas. Kimi Raikkonen, Sergio Perez, Felipe Massa, Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, Daniel Kvyat, and Nico Hülkenberg. Carlos Sainz, our teammate, starts, well, mid-pack. And as the rest of the lineup go through, because that is just way too fast to read, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves, well, a green flag, but a maintain lap. So guys, we're going to lead this field to the green flag. I guess to the green lights. This isn't NASCAR. There's no green flag. It's just green lights. And 16 corners, you're going to get a bird's eye view of just a lot of excitement today. First person view, bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to see the race as. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're on soft tires to start the race. So is Nico Rosberg. Lewis Hamilton is on super soft, so expect him to run faster laps than both us and Rosberg. It is 15 laps, 22 cars enter the field today, and we are just looking here to get some results. If we're still in it, still on podium chance at the end of the race, we are going to try our hardest to get a podium spot. I do not believe we're going to win, but I do believe that we are going to have a fast car here today. The difficulty is hard. We bumped it up to expert, 1 level higher for next week, so I'm not going to ruin any surprises there. And how about this? Nico Rosberg actually takes over, and maybe he wanted the lead. Who knows? Maybe he wanted to start on pole, but it doesn't matter because he has to get that position up mandatory ASAP as soon as we reform the grid. So, entering the couple final turns here from Melbourne, Australia. We're proud to have you on board today with the Haas F1 team. And we'll be looking to make an impact in our first ever race. 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, 120 mile an hour average speed. It's just about set to get underway. Rosberg lines up on the inside of turn number 1. We line up on the outside. I would rather have Nico Rosberg's spot than ours, but it all matters about how you get off the line. So as the grid reforms for the start of the race here, guys, it's going to be a fun F1 2016 season. We're a rookie. We don't know what to expect. We got the best F1 driver behind us. We got second to none Nico Rosberg on his nationality and on his team right beside us in second. We have Verstappen in fourth. We have all the veterans, and they're not going to lay low for a little rookie. So without further ado, we are underway from Melbourne. And on the first straightaway, well, here comes those super soft tires of Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes team car. Guess what? He already takes over the lead, not even one turn in. But now it's our job to hold off the rest of this field that is going to be fighting with us in and out of the race. We're already in second. Rosberg drops to third. Hamilton already starting to get a little bit of a gap between us and himself. Us being the 21 other cars in the field. But you gotta expect it. Super soft tires, more grip, greater lap times as the race evolves into the later stages of the day. Soft tires, you should contend. Longer tire lifespan, I didn't know how to word that. Longer span on the track, 28 laps instead of 21, but since it's a quarter of a race, 25% every race, I might bump it up even more. We'll see how next week goes. It's only 7 or 8 laps, so that means super soft only 4 or 5 laps. So if we can just hold off and handle our own against Rosberg, Verstappen, Raikkonen, all those guys behind us, well, we're going to have a good shot to take the lead. So, coming out of turn number 16 in lap 1, Lewis Hamilton is first. We're second. Nico Rosberg is third. Into turn 1 now for the second time today, officially under the green lights. And Lewis Hamilton has built himself a significant lead. Speaking of leads, well, we had a lead on Nico Rosberg, but with a little trouble in some of the corners and the veteran status of Rosberg and just his overall career of F1 racing, he closes the gap, and now he's looking to make a pass. He's directly behind us right now, and now we have friends, well, not our friends, but maybe his friends in the rest of the field, 4th, 5th. They're now joining the club, and now it's just Lewis Hamilton's race to lose right now. He's up in front. He's the only one with super soft tires in the top 5 for this field, and I believe he's the only one running super soft tires until you get to like 11th place in the field. So with that said, he really has no competition until then. Entering about midway into lap number 2 now. We're holding our own. We've actually not built a lead, but maintained a lead on Rosberg and Verstappen, who is still in 4th, but they're still on our back bumper here. And the way F1 rules work, well, if you tap a car, you're going to get a warning, or you're going to go down the pits for a penalty. So as well as we have to respect the rules, they have to respect the rules. And now we're on lap number 3, where DRS is enabled, the drag reducing system. And guys, we're going to try and use it to our full advantage. But the only problem with that is you have to be at least 1 second behind the car in front of you or less. 1 second is the top difference you can be, and then it's enabled for you. The only problem with that is Nico Rosberg is half a car length behind us. We're way more than 1 second behind Hamilton. So Rosberg, Verstappen, and fourth, they're going to utilize the DRS zones. It's just our job to hang on to those spots when we need them to those turns. We shut the door when we need to. Speaking of shutting the door, how about that? Nico Rosberg says, "I'm tired of you, rookie." He actually hits us. You saw our hand go up. What are you doing? It's only lap 3. He wants to get past us. Well, guess what? We're not going to let that happen. Verstappen now drops off to the rest of the field, about 4th through 10th right now. And now it's just Lewis Hamilton all alone. It's us and Rosberg all alone. And then you might have a second back to Verstappen and the rest of the field through 10th. So, out of turn number 16 for the 3rd time today, Hamilton runs a 1:36. That is his 2nd fastest lap of the race. We go all the way to lap number 5, and there's a caution flag for something back in the pack. That turns to a green flag run, but then what happened? Well, we don't know. All we know is that there is a safety car now on the track. So we take the full follow through of the pace and all the laps and pace laps and all that. And we're in first. But that wouldn't last for long because we haven't made our pit stop yet. And now we are coming into the pits at a cool 37 miles an hour. Lewis Hamilton will take over first place. He pitted first. He will come out first after this all cycles through. And now this is our first pit stop of our F1 career. So boys, let's make it fast. 13 seconds so far on pit road. That is a 2.2 second stop. And that propels us to lap number 10. Where things are going to get really bad before they get better. And why do they get bad? Well, let's head into turn number 1. We're in 14th actually, not 10th. We're in 14th. We're battling Sebastian Vettel. We're battling Ricciardo. And guys, we're feeling the pressure. We want to make moves on these guys in front of us. Vettel, Alonso, Nivar. We want to make moves. We want to show why we belong in F1. Except we got to worry about the guys behind us. And that guy behind us, Ricciardo, we go to block and we get hammered. That was all our fault. We almost flipped the car and just retire from the session immediately. But we do fix the damage. And by lap 15, well, we're P19. And we're just hanging on not to get dead last at this point. Ricciardo actually is behind us. He got more damage than we thought. We are now on super soft tires as well as Ricciardo. Sainz comes in 18th. We come in 19th. And Ricciardo, who got involved in the wreck with us, he was a victim. He gets 20th. So out of 22 cars, we start on pole. We really hold second for more than halfway through the race. And we end up finishing P19 because of a dumb rookie mistake that we should have never made or attempted to make. And Lewis Hamilton, well, he led the whole race basically, it seemed like. So he wins the race. No surprise there. Congratulations to the Petronas team of Mercedes. They get their first win of the year in Australia. As for the rest of the podium, well, at least get our teammate up there? No, not even close. Haas F1 team just absolutely underperformed. We were supposed to be the performer today, and we just did not exceed expectations. We got too aggressive as a rookie. We made a block that just did not work. We knew he was there, but we still went for it anyway. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what can happen. So, Lewis Hamilton comes home first. Kimi Räikkönen comes home second. Max Verstappen comes home third. Felipe Massa, Sergio Perez, Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button, Daniel Kvyat, Esteban Gutierrez, our teammate, and Sebastian Vettel round out the top 10. Ramirez actually performed pretty well considering he was about 11th, 12th, 13th all race. But the expectations for Haas, You had a guy on pole, you had a guy in 12th. You probably want them both to finish top 10, and only one of them did. So in the Constructors' Cup standings, well, Mercedes has a big lead already. 14 points over the other teams. And if you have Lewis Hamilton on your team, it is not that easy. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this race from Melbourne, Australia, and Albert Park. The next race will be in Bahrain. The qualifying and all that will get run down. We will see you there, and we will look to have a better performance. Thank you, guys. Take care.